.876 Streets is powered by
Massive Auto Parts. Quality parts and cars at unbeatable prices.
Swift Team Services. Your freight, our priority.
Jeffrey Constructions Limited. It's all in the name.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming. You know, truck days are something that we do all over the world, and it's something that we've been talking about for a long time. And I'm really, really glad to see a lot of people actually came out today. That's fantastic. I mean, it's a pity that the weather is like this. I actually hope that that little sun that we see off in the horizon actually comes over, because I'd really like you guys to experience driving this truck on the dry and not necessarily on the wet. The driving on a wet track is something that I would like to discuss, because it's something that happens on a daily basis with driving on the road. A lot of the accidents that you see is because of the wet road, right? And a lot of people not understanding their car. One of the things that I did when Tommy came out here to go and race is that I took up a little rock stone and I put it out on the straightaway and I put it on the ground. And I said to him, I says, I want you to drive down this track, and I want you to put your left tire and hit that little pedal. And when you come back around again, I want you to take your right tire and lick that little pedal. And I want to do it for you to understand your car. So that when I go there and I say to you that I want you to touch the apex of that corner going into Pinkies, because if you don't touch the apex, you're going to crash. And that's one of the things that I want to talk to him about, and of course to you guys about, is to learn the car. You ever sit down in the car and you're driving down the road and him or her is sitting beside you and you see a pothole all the way down the end of the road, and he goes and you give a little glance and you say, she must or he must see the pothole, and all of a sudden you go, and then you look back at the person and go, Jesus Christ, and you hold on your head. But a lot of it is because the person does not know his car or her car, so they don't know where those tires are going, right? So one of the things that I want you to learn today is that you even go and pick maybe the strip of little white, and I want you to drive your tire down that little piece of strip of white, and you know that once you've driven down there, you say, yeah, okay, I know where my left front tire is, or right. Because it's going to be so important when driving around this track, because the track is very slippery. Now also, a lot of things that I have taught to my son and my family is more so about the dangers of driving. It was never really, I'm going to show you how to drive. It was more to show you that if you drove like this, or if you did this, accidents are going to occur. One of the things that I love to do is when I was going to Kingston, I would even drive to Tommy and I would say to him, all right, you see when we get up by the road by the stadium, and you're turning by the stadium, and you always see glass out there. Why? Because everybody now likes to take that little soft road and they're coming down, barrel down to the traffic light, and all of a sudden another car which is turning to go up by the stadium, he's in the right of way, but you're now going to blast and you're going to now try and pick the light now and you're going to blow by, and all of a sudden you come there, you can't turn in sharp enough because there's a man that is literally in his right turning to go up by the stadium. So you always see glass there. So it was one of those things where I love to have taught my family and my kids the dangers of various aspects of the road. Take the North Coast Highway for example. The North and South Coast Highway was built in a way with the Chinese, where the road going from Ocherous to Kingston is cambered properly. The Kingston side to Ocherous side is cambered not properly. So guess why you see so many people crashing from the Ochi to Kingston, from the Kingston to Ochi side? That is where you see all of the black marks and that is where you see all of the grass, that's where you see all of the accidents. Why? Because it's not cambered properly. You're coming into a corner, the corner you're supposed to now be turning a left-hand corner and the corner camber right. All of a sudden you go into a left-hand corner and the camber stays up. So when you're going too hot, now all of a sudden the car slide off and boom, you lick the concrete. So it is to know your road, right? So a lot of people know, okay, so you have those highway guys that like to go there and drive fast. I was hoping that I would see one or two of them here today, but I don't see any yet. But it's one of those things that I want to show them, that it was to know the road that you're driving and also your car. Right? So Peter is going to talk to you about various different things. I'm going to talk to you about various different. Again, my thoughts and my teachings is very different. Also, I took Nick for a drive a while ago, and I wanted to show you that coming down the straightaway, the road is wet. Our typical race line at Dover is to keep along that white section of that corner, right? That is the type of driving line that you want to keep in the drive. You come extreme to the right, you take the white line, you nip the apex. Once you start to nip the apex and you realize now that, yeah, the car feels stable, that steering wheel is supposed to be one solid lock the entire way around the track. There shouldn't be 1, 2, 3 times you're knocking the steering wheel to go around the next corner. That is if you took the right racing line. It is one lock, ladies and gentlemen. So you come around that corner, you set up the car, you have the car, the steering wheel, and you start to squeeze on the gas. A lot of these things where we'll talk about with racing, roll on and roll off of the brakes and the gas. Now, I learned at a very young age to use my left foot to brake. So if you're in my car and you're driving as a passenger, and you can ask my family, if I decide now I'm going to take it upon myself now to start to drive swiftly, if somebody looks now and sees this foot come from here and go, yes sir, that time everybody go, because they know now that I am now in race mode. So it is one of those things that you can't just do right away either. Now this is a lot of things where you learn from the go-kart racing, you learned it because of the pedal pressure on this foot. So you come down now and you start to think about roll on and roll off of the gas pedal. And this is very, very instrumental in driving a track like this. Because once you know that, first of all, your foot is right there on the brake pedal at all times. So therefore, if there was any little glitch that went on in the car, you felt it. So we come back in driving in the rain. And I told you how this would be the perfect line to go around that top corner. No, on a day like today, it is not. Because you see that black mark on the outside of that white line? More like this. Yeah. If you ever take that white line or you know come down where you're taking the typical door line and you're now taking that corner, it's done. It's bye-bye. See you later. And they have a lovely, lovely barricade over on the other side just waiting for you. It's going, come to me, baby. So on something like today, you're going to keep more to the middle of the track. You're going to go and hit the apex so that when you do get into the corner, you are now going to be in the white line, which has the grip. So therefore, if the car does a little of the foolishness, you're already there in the good stuff. You're not there in the bad stuff. So that's one of the things where same thing, you come down to this corner here, your braking zones, when you start to turn, brake and turn a little early, so that therefore now when you go back on the gas, anything happens in the car, you're already anticipating. There is no reason to come down one full notch down to the last very minute and then turn the car, because again, if the car starts to just veer off just a little and you get into that lovely black stuff, you're going to go into this grass and all of a sudden you're going to go into that famous Pinky's Bluff. So this is, as I said, this is one of the things that I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to make Peter go something a little different. He's going to talk about things different, and then I'll come back on and I'll talk about stuff different. But my way of teaching is very, very different. It's not methodical and it's not apex to apex sort of thing where Peter can actually talk to you that more about. My own is more to show you the dangers of the sport and the dangers of driving. One of the last thing I want to talk about is in the rain. You ever driving on the road and all of a sudden you lick a puddle and you said to yourself and the car goes on and you said, "Boy!" What that and your heart started to beat a million miles an hour? Trust me, a lot of times that is too late. How you feel driving in the rain is more not white knuckle driving on the steering wheel where everybody's like gripping like hell. It's more a little relaxed mode. It's like you're dancing, right? This is where you're going to feel that the car now is going to step out. Once you feel that within this part of you, then your hands will react accordingly. Because you're feeling that the back is going to step out, all of a sudden you felt it like this. Oh, that look ladies. But once you feel here and you see it start to move, then immediately now your hands now can correct, right? And it's like a dance. You understand? You see the dance? So therefore, if you felt it here, then you can correct here. If you felt it here first, I can promise you, you're going to have that, oh, and then all of a sudden, what is going to happen is that you're going to start to react, overreact. So all of a sudden you think to yourself, oh no, the car has done this, so therefore I have to swing the other way. And when you swing the other way, the car goes up, then you swing the other way and the car goes up, and then 90% of the time, goodbye, Irene.
What takes you to track day?
Well, today we have some students, as you know, from the Yorkshire High School. Mm-hmm. We have some students from the Automotive Club that they are here being trained to be marshals. I wanted to be a mechanical engineer, went to UTech, so forth, but it also helps the students in order to see their career goals. A lot of them are into cars, into machinery, electrical and so. Mm-hmm. So it helps them to be in the industry and also, affiliate with some people who are in the industry to help them.
What specific skills or knowledge do you hope these students gain from this experience?
Well, a lot of students gain a lot of mechanical knowledge and also a lot of racecraft knowledge, because even the lab dopamine that was kept, a lot of the students were working in pits. Mm-hmm. So thank you to Doug Gore, Sarah Messier, Lamar Larmont from A1. They helped, and also Scott, a lot of other also people that are here help the students and brought them into their pits. So they got the experience of how a race car is prepped and so forth, what it takes to get a race program run.
What is your vision for bridging motorsports and education in Jamaica?
Well, we at Yorkshire High School, the Automotive Club, which is under the Industrial Technology Department, we have decided that we're going to build a race car for them. Mm-hmm. The efforts have already started, so we have acquired some sponsorship.
Nice.
We got a shell from HP, that is Archie. We got an engine from Massive. I believe from 866 and Massive are got an engine from Massive. We also got some stuff from Automotive Art, which Automotive Art is also going to help us to paint the car and so forth.
Nice.
But we are also seeking further sponsorship.
Yeah.
As you know, building a race car is not a cheap endeavor. We're a school. We also kept a car show that went pretty viral.
Yes, it did go viral and it was amazing. It's the first time something like that even happened at York Castle High.
Yes.
So it was really great.
So yes, we kept the car show. We're seeking to keep another one in March. Mm-hmm. So we're hoping that everyone turns up. And we're also seeking further sponsors. Building a race car is not cheap.
Naturally.
And the students are very enthusiastic about it. As you can see, they're here.
Yeah.
Doing being marshals, they're working in pits. They're very enthusiastic about it. So we are seeking further sponsorship to see if we can help to finish this race car.
And guys, if you or anyone you know that is willing to sponsor the York Castle High School race car, please reach out.
I can leave a number. So
sure.
My number is 885-9104.
And that's 885-9104.
Yes.
What inspired you to join the club?
So first of all, I'm Shana McKay. I always wanted to learn about cars more because really and truly I used to like only bikes. But now I'm a very big car fan. I like the noises it makes, the engine, transmission, all of that.
Okay, nice. What have you learned so far that has enhanced your previous knowledge or developed your knowledge in motorsports or automotive? Sorry.
So how to basically drive a shift, like stick car. I've learned a bit about that, like first and second gear. So I don't know how to do it completely, but I've been learning. And it also like how to control the vehicle more, know that the vehicle doesn't control you, you're the one who presses the gas and the brakes and all of that.
You know, I was really, really happy when I saw the amount of people that came out, even on a rainy day. I'm very, very impressed, and I really love that we have some new blood taking over. I like that and really and truly, the club is now a part of all the drivers. The drivers have taken up the initiative to have something like this, which is a track day. The track day is something that they have all over the world. And we needed this.
Yes.
We needed young people to get out here with their road cars, come and feel what it's like to drive around the track at Dover. We don't want the spectators to be standing up there now and talking about, well, you know, I'm driving that car and I'm beat down more, you know.
Yeah.
So guess what? It was lovely to see that times like this, they could come and experience this track. And I think this is an awesome, awesome thing that has happened. With his Pro Box, his Toyota Corolla, his BMW, his Benz, coming out here now and feeling the track, hoping now that the blood would bite, right? And then all of a sudden now get a little itch. And I said, wait, I can come here now and drive Super Street.
Yeah.
If they can come and drive Super Street, what happens after that? They do well, all of a sudden now they want to put in a roll cage in the car, and then it goes from one hand to the other, and all of a sudden now they're making up their top class car now to come and race against me. So that's exactly what needed to take place.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here, by the way. I mean, it's awesome to see a great turnout and everybody driving on this track. I would say that this track is one of the most daunting and scary tracks like in the world. In Europe, compared to this track, Europe is easy. I mean, this track it has everything: incline, decline, off camber corners, it has almost everything. And if you learn this track, you can do well anywhere else.
Yeah, this racetrack is a racetrack like none other. The undulations, the corners, the coming up the hill, the going down the hill, every single thing is just so different compared to any racetrack that you've ever seen. And you know, this is where the track is very, very demanding, and that is why a lot of these people that they come out here with their road car, and all of a sudden it's an eye opener. All of a sudden now they're going, oh my goodness, they had no idea. So that is why I think that Dover was probably the place to go and do this. Remember, the Jamaica Race Drivers Club does not own Jamrest. Although it's an easier, more forgiving track, we don't own it.
Yeah.
So having the track day now to build up the club, build up the members, Dover Raceway was the right place to put it. So the track has deteriorated, there's no doubt about it, but also the facilities have actually gained. You know, we have where some 50 cars can now be actually in a bay.
Oh, nice.
So, you know, we're in the old days now, our car was parked outside underneath a tent, where a lot of the cars that you come here today are actually enclosed, somewhere that you can actually lock up your car, leave and come back the next day. So, yeah, the track, yes, it is old, and you know, hopefully if the club gets some money we can repair it, but really and truly this track is still fantastic when you think of all these years that we've been racing in this very same tarmac, and it has hold up. I mean, honestly, I don't see a pothole today. I mean, I was driving around and there is not even one pothole, so I think the track held up.
Yeah, it did.
It has held up well.
And it was amazing drive. I went around the track with Senna earlier, and I'm not gonna lie, it was awesome. The first thing he said when he came out, I was not driving fast, guys, but you know, he was driving fast, and naturally for him, and it was great. The handling, the experience was amazing.
So I've been doing it so long, it's been 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's as old as me.
And I need somebody else to come and take the mantle in my class. I'm coming out here now, and you know, right now I'm not having the same fever pitch that I'm having when I used to race against Sawbell or Peter Ray. I don't have that fear in me. You know, you're coming out here, and I can't wait to come and get on the start line. My heart is beating a million miles an hour. I want a youngster to come now and take that, so that I can get somebody to race against, and I'm going to be like, yeah, this is it. And I hope somebody takes up the mantle. I hope somebody does it quick.
But
That's the thing. You also enjoy the day, you know. But you can bring them retreat car.
Yeah.
And be on the track and feel what it feels like to be a racer.
Yeah.
It's the idea. And it's been so very good so far.
Yeah, it is. The reception has been nice.
Yes, there's a lot of people are here and everybody's happy. Smiles. I mean, the weather is the best it can be, but
Yeah.
it's a blessing and it's just more fun. The real drive guys.
That's true.
The BMW guys are really enjoying it.
What can spectators expect from Dover 2025?
Well, this year is more of the same. We have a lot of spectators, a lot of entrants. We're trying to build the sport up, get the drivers back, and a lot of competitive racing, a whole lot of that, and just a new look, you know, new board,
Yeah, new boards and new things to expect.
new ideas,
Yeah.
new everything.
Everybody come out and let's do a few hot laps. Again, I'm going to recommend to Turbo that we do 4 laps at a time and then you lock it off because we don't want guys overcooking their car, period. We want everybody to not have fun today. We don't want anybody to be going back on any record. So let's get in the car and have a little fun.
Yeah, but we don't want to carry them too much either. We don't want to carry them too much speed either.
Exactly. Remember, we're here to have fun.
Some years ago when Doug's younger brother was running the Evo 10, DOT tires, I was in Mazda, steaming up like crazy. I had to pull my seatbelt to wipe it. I didn't have a defroster. And I'm on slicks and the rain is pouring. I remember going on into the hairpin, Pepsi hairpin by that time. And I basically went around the outside of Matthew and beat him. When I came in, he came over and said if I was on wet. I said, no, feel the tires, slicks. So Doug's technique of wet driving line is a bit different to mine. So I don't think I'm but basically, particularly years of go-karting, you come off the racing line. Like today is a perfect example where wherever Doug has spoken about wide entry, apex, you actually pass that turn-in. In fact, where you look for grip, particularly with slick tires, is the marbles that will spin you in the wet, in the dry, sorry. So you want to go into that area to get the grip. There's something called driver etiquette, right? At Dover in particular. And there are 2 areas around Dover that I'd like to highlight that one needs to respect one another and driver etiquette. Coming out to the hairpin, there's a slight right hand near the massive billboard. There's a slight kink to the right. If you come out and a car, you're slightly ahead of someone, sort of middle, and they're on your inside, you're not going to go and take somewhat the apex. You're going to give the person space. That's called driver etiquette, right? We're not here to bang, and we're not doing this today. In fact, I'm just talking from the aspect of actual racing. But there's another area down the bottom, which I remember seeing the guy's differential and its dry shaft when he went airborne beside me. And I'll tell you why. He came out to a Carrickfermid corner, which is now bush trails. And there's another little kink there, a right-hand kink. And, you know, I'm going through and he decides that he's going to take it straight and bang me. But by hitting the left side of my car, he went and then he rolled over and I could see the, he was a 4-wheel drive car, ever, I remember.
Wasn't it?
It wasn't yours, no. So those two areas is particularly important when it comes to driver etiquette, right? I can probably run Dover blindfolded and do maybe 119. And I'll give you an instance where Andrew King, we had a CMRC event here some years ago. Andrew King with his rotary had a problem. I brought a spare engine for him. He was fitting it up 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I went out in the previous car, which was bombastic. No lights around Dover, pitch black. And all I could see is flame out the side, brake light, and then whizzing around. And when I came in, they said, "Boy, Ray, you must be a Batman. You're a bat. You can see the car, the track at night." I said, "Well, I know it off by heart." I used to come here at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning with a bag of Pro Patch. Time I was running the Pocket Rocket Mini, going down into Pinky's Bluff. Time Doug is still perambulator, maybe. So, our high school. But there was a dig out going into the bluff, and I decided at 3 in the morning I'd go and patch it so nobody else would see it, dust it over. So I was the only one that knew that you could actually take that line and go down the hill faster. Various other things.
It took so long to tell you.
50 years it took. Oh my God, good night. Well, I brought flags to talk about what the flags mean. I couldn't find a blue flag because I've never been served a blue flag in my life. Blue flag is when Doug is approaching and the blue flag comes out. Not for me, but for somebody else. So you either have it waved past the car approaching or, pull over. The checkered flag, the green flag to start, the yellow flag when there's an infraction on the track or there's some debris. On the yellow you're actually supposed to slow up your pace as well. I tend to try and catch up if I'm behind Doug. Catch up a bit, but then you can then start to accelerate once you pass the next green flag forward.
I was thinking about it last night, and I think that the maximum amount of laps that each and every one of you should do is 4. And the reason why is because of the brakes that you have on. I don't care if you think that the brakes are the best thing since sliced bread. I can tell you, Dover is a track where you have to honor your brakes here. And I'll tell you a lot of times you leave athletes feel that the brakes are great, and it's your slow down lap. And you're coming in here with your road car, and you're going to park, and all of a sudden you go, shh, and you go, what did what? And that is when you feel that your brakes are gone, because that is when it has now boiled, that brake fluid has now boiled, and all of a sudden bubbles are all in the system. So don't think that, oh boy, I have good brakes on my car and everything is possible. So I really and truly think, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I think after 4 laps, you come in, you take a cool down, and you start to think about what you did on the track, you start to think about the dangers of the places that know. One of the things that I said to Nick is that I told him that if he brought poison here, I thought that I could have gone out and done a better time than he would have. So of course he chuckled. But I was telling him that a lot of this is, and why I do say so, is that it's your brakes. Same thing that we talk about. It is your braking distance. A lot of times if I go and take my car and I go down the end of the straightaway, you are going to be pumping as I cross over after the flag marshal, you are going to sit in the car now and start to pump brakes. And you're going to say, wait, this man bad man, no sir, we're going to crash. And you're going to sit there and you're going to be pumping brakes the whole time, and I'm going to come down literally in the dip and I'm going to press the brakes in the car. So that is also knowing the track of Dover and not necessarily your car, but in 2 laps or 3 laps I will know the car just as well as you have. And a lot of it is the feel of how I'm going to feel your car and the feel of how I can now take advantage of what your car has to offer. So some of the things that I want to talk about is this particular track and some of the safety aspects. Now remember, we talked about corner 1 and we talked about spectator corner right here. Those 2, be very careful. Again, a lot of it is how you enter into the corner. If you feel that you've entered in properly, yes, roll on the gas pedal and you feel the car now start to come around with you and you feel, say, yes, this feels right? If you do believe at any corner that you're driving around the track and you say to yourself, you know something, I did not do it right, guys, abandon that particular corner. There is nothing to prove here. remember, we're here to betterment your driving style, how you're going to drive, how you're going to know acknowledge Dover Raceway, that the next time that you guys are on the hill and you say, boy, don't go now driving, because then you went me way out there. Deal with it! Right? So all of a sudden now you guys are going to get there and go, wow. So that is what this track is all about. Okay, so we come down to the famous Pinky's Bluff. You're coming down here, you see that wide section of the track. You're going to keep all the way over there. As Peter Ray says, you're going to shadow your brake and you're going to come all the way on the inside. You see that black stuff over there on the left hand side? I can promise you, if you go over there, the likelihood of you ending up in that tire barrier is very, very, very likely, especially if you're traveling fast. So you come extreme, you put your car right there. Again, it is learning your tires right there on the apex, and you're going to go on and shadow your brake to make sure that the car feels tight and stable. You can actually go back quickly on the power just a little, because what happens is that you don't want to go down Pinkies now and be shadowing the brake to the point where all of a sudden you're stepping on the brake, because eventually the car now is going to want to continue to go over by tires. So you actually want to go back on the gas a little, and you want to actually start to aim where that Marshall Tower is. You see where the people are standing? You want to aim your car there to them, so that when you're getting close to them, then you have a perfect line to come back over here. Once you come over here now, the tarmac changes. You'll notice that it's like Baba green and all of a sudden it's concrete. I can tell you again, in road cars with road tires, if you go over that little bump and you've now landed on the concrete and you now decided that you're going to brake, remember, all of a sudden your car has done this, your suspension has come up in the air, you are coming down now, you're going to go on your brake, the car is up here and it's loose. So when you go back on the brake hard, all of a sudden the car goes shh, and you're going to want to come down all the way over here. So just be careful that you want to be even, especially today, just touch your brake slightly before you go over that little bump, right? Come back over here now, you see where the trees are on the Island Fast corner. You see when you're coming around there, even right now, make sure that you set up the car properly before you come down the hill. You want to make sure that the car is literally almost straight, because over there is very slippery because of all the trees have now dropped all of that stuff right here. If your front tire over on that side catches it, it's going to want to pull you straight to the barricade, right? Now, a lot of times where people don't understand, but you can brake very, very late going up over the top here. There is a chicane, but you can't. No, that's for another time. That's when you decide now that you're going to really come to Dover. I'll come back now and show you guys how to drive your race car. But a lot of people can make up so much time just by braking later going up the back street. Because what happens is that it looks intimidating. Like you're coming up over there and you're going, where the corner go? Can't see, where the corner go? After a while, just like what Peter is going to say, you're going to start to memorize and say, okay, if I did this and I did that, I'm alright. It's coming up over the center. You're going to pick your braking point. So as you're driving here today, you're going to brake, and then all of a sudden you notice that you're coasting, going over the brow to take the corner. And you say, wait, I'm coasting, I can go a little harder. So if you take it a little harder, we're going to do it in small increments. Right? And no big increment, you're not going to come over flying over the crest, because trust me, you won't make the chicane. Chicane now is tough. You want to almost nip and nip coming out. Again, there's some very nasty round lines over there on the left hand side. If you get over there, remember once you get on the grass, it's like a gully. So you also be very, very careful with that. When you come over by Carib Cement or what is it, Bushtails now, there is a line. You come all the way over to the edge, you start to dip down, it looks like a water drain right here on the left hand side, a culvert. You want to literally put your tire almost in the culvert. Not in the culvert, but you want to put it almost in it. By doing that now, the car is basically hooked into that corner, and you can actually go down there quite fast. You come back again where you talk about lap times at Dover. Everybody takes that corner now, and you see the other corner where the marshal is at the tower. and everybody just coasting. Put back on the gas, man, let it go. Whoop! And you want to get back to that straight, that next corner again, as fast as you can, because guess what? You're going up a hill. So as long as you can gas it back, turn the car, you're going up the hill, gravity going to be on your side. Right? So you go back on the power again. Don't sit there and go, Once you come up here, along the wall, you want to keep as close as to this wall as possible, almost like it's going to tear off that same door handle of your car. Why? Because when you come up here, the car is naturally going to want to drift all the way over to the wall. Let the car drift naturally. Of course, if it's drifting violently, you say to yourself, well, on yourself. But allow the car to drift across the road. It is going to be good for you. Because you're going to come and all of a sudden you're in the right way to come down the straight. So we just talked about the track. Again, let us drive in convoy. I'm going to drive in front with Peter and I'm going to just show you the lines that I like. But what I want you to do is I'm going to drive slowly and show you the real Dover line first.
Always great to be back here at Dover, track that we grew up on. Car is sketchy in the rain because it's rear-wheel drive and it has a lot of power. It's super fun. It's an awesome car to drive, probably one of my favorites.
Well, like how important is events such as track day?
It's super important. I mean, it gets everybody back involved with the racing. It makes people excited for the upcoming season, and it teaches a lot of people, I mean, the basics of racing and being safe on the racetrack. So it's a super important thing for everybody to do, and yeah, it's just to come out and have fun. It's nothing, no stress, and just do your best, have fun, and it teaches people a lot. So it's an awesome day to have, especially before the season, because the car is very loose. So it actually might teach people more practicing in the rain, and it's always good to get comfortable in an uncomfortable situation, because when when everything is comfortable again, you adapt to it much quicker. And so it's great to drive in the wet, and when it gets dry, I'm sure everybody that came out today will go even faster, you know?
Fastest man to ever go around this track, right?
How do you feel about that one?
That's where he was born, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was about 2 years ago we did the lap record here with the Radical SR8. Yeah, that's one of probably my biggest personal achievements.
Nice.
And looking forward to maybe this year coming back for a race meet or two and trying to break it even more. It's definitely frightening when you push to those limits. I think I had maybe one more lap in me after to go fast, and my heart was just beating to the point where my heart rate was sky high. I mean, it takes a lot out of you to say you're going to do the lap and hit all your brake markers, get on the gas at this point, and it's frightening, honestly. You do the lap and you know you've just done something quite tremendous. But yes, I think it's an awesome thing. I mean, my dad has had the lap record for years and years, and then Kyle Gregg had it for the last couple of years. And I knew I wanted it, so I went out there and pushed to get it, and we got it. And awesome, yeah.
Yeah. So what are you looking most forward towards the 2025 race season?
Well, I mean, as you guys probably know, Tommy Gore and I have been racing in Europe last year, and that went awesome. We finished the year with a P3, which is the first ever Jamaicans, any person from this region, to go to such a high level motor car event and do so well. So we have lots of offers on the table right now, so hoping to do some races in Europe this year, as well as maybe 1 or 2 races at Dover, and try to beat the lap record even more.
Yeah, awesome. Well, all the best to you in the 2025 race season. And it was nice driving with you. You have such amazing car control, and I wasn't scared inside the vehicle. It was amazing. It was a great experience.
Well, that's what I want to hear, so thank you for coming with me.
So we have Jamstick Motorsports in the building.
What's going on?
It's so great to have you here in Jamaica.
Yeah, it's been a surprise to everybody. Nobody expected I would be here.
I know, it was such a surprise seeing you too.
Yeah.
So what takes you to Jamaica? I mean,
it's been a while. This was my old stamping grounds here growing up. It's good to be here. And by the way, I needed to thaw out because in America right now we're in a wicked freeze.
Yeah.
So I came down here to hang out with family and friends that I haven't seen for a while, especially in the automotive community here. So yeah, it's a pleasure.
Nice. So what do you think about track day?
I think track day is a good thing. I mean, I have several hours and days of tracking cars and all of that stuff. So seeing it being done here in Jamaica is a big deal, because people in Jamaica think they're big drivers, and they do all kinds of stuff on the road, not fully understanding the dynamics of a car, how to set up a car for corners, weight transfer, what it means to have proper tires, proper brakes, and just good fitment. Everything is supposed to be working well in unison, as well as driver education, which is what Doug Gore here and the legendary Peter Ray is trying to instill on these folks here today. That way that their knowledge that they expound can actually help somebody, probably save a life out there too, because it's not just about racing. A lot of the technologies that we have on the street today is built on the racetrack. Like, cars are better because of stuff like this, and to have people understanding how the car works and know the limits. Although today you can't really explore the limits because of all the rain here today, but at least you'll have an opportunity to feel how your car behave in a wet type environment. So I think it's a good thing. Hopefully more people get involved in motorsport, because I believe that this circuit type motorsport racing here in Jamaica has kind of died down a little bit. Back in the glory days, man, this place used to be packed.
Yeah.
We used to have a lot of drivers, we used to have a lot more sponsors. I mean, that was the pit area right there that we used to operate out of right there, so it's good to see it still around. But yeah, we need more people involved in it because we have some very good talents here in Jamaica. Some of them just need to be recognized.
What do you think about experience driving with Senna just now?
No, Senna a boss, man. Senna a boss. So I own the same car in the United States. The M3, the F8 M3 is a very capable machine, and Senna expertly took it around with us there in the wet. No big deal, no problem at all.
Yeah.
Wasn't worried one bit because I know I'm in good hands.
Yeah.
Actually, I was the one who was supposed to drive the car, but they gave me the wrong band. So
wrong
we're sorting
armband.
out that situation right now. No, Senna is a real champ, man. It's good to see him growing up and doing the thing here at Dover and around the world, actually. Even in Germany, I was watching his stuff, and I've driven the Nürburgring a few times too. I'm very proud of him, and I'm proud of Tommy Gore too, who's not here today. But yeah, so as a guy built cars over the years, I highly recommend, if you want to go fast, focus on going slow first.
Yeah.
Focus on your suspension, focus on the brakes before you start doing anything, in the power department. So make sure that your car can handle what you're about to do to it. Because a lot of times, a lot of people spend a lot of time on the engine and whatever, making the thing however many horsepower, 600-700 horsepower.
Yeah.
But then they neglect the brakes, then they neglect the tires, and then they're in a situation the brakes heat up and you can't stop. Or you have a tire that explodes, or something crazy, So
yeah.
Focus on that. Learn. There's a lot of knowledge out there how to enter and exit a car.
Yeah.
And the track days like I'll always be open to learning something new.
Yeah.
And don't think that you're the best driver or whatever. There's always somebody better.
That's true.
And just be humble.
All right, well, thanks, Calvin, for taking the time out to do this little interview with me.
We always represent 876 streets. My car is in the United States, always represent 876 streets. I know Nick is here too, represents Skunk as well, so everybody doing it together.
Yeah.
But I love the look, I love that I can turn on my TV any time of the week and I see 876 streets. It's a live thing. But I'm doing it. Kedron always bother me about coming down here and doing something. At one point I almost had a car here too, and I was going to participate, but being a pilot, my schedule doesn't really allow for stuff like that right now.
Yeah.
But eventually I'll be back out here.
Alright, nice seeing you. Have a good day today.
Alright, thank you.
Favorite memory or achievement so far as a member of the club?
Alright, so After all, my name is Ashay Linton. My favorite memory was the day that we had the car show, right? My dream car is a BMW F90 M5. And when I saw that BMW F90 M5 pull up at the school, I was the happiest person on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I see the car pull up, I was doing something. I left the thing that I was doing and ran and went to see the car. So,
You?
Alright, so for me, I'm Mikhail Hamilton. Yes, and the best moments I can recall from joining this club is being able to come out at Dover for these race meets, and we actually worked in the pits for the previous two races or events that happened at Dover. Yes, so things like that happen and we get to see it, we have a good laugh, the drivers aren't hurt and learn from it, so yeah, it's a great experience in the automotive club.
My name is Felicia Furtado, and my fondest memory of here was the previous Dover meet, when me and some of my fellow club members had to work with Sarah Mizier and Xander Williams and get to learn how to weld a car and what takes place.
So you like the hands-on experience?
Yeah.
Awesome. And you wanted to answer?
My name is Jamar Sige. So my favorite experience of joining this club is the car show that I see my dream car, MK4, and I was so excited. I actually I dropped my phone, run just to see it, and I was so excited.
Okay, nice. What skills have you all developed through the club, and how do you think they'll help in your future career?
Alright, so Hamilton again. Skills that I've developed. As I said before, we came to Dover, right? And we worked in the pits. While I was here, I was working with Mr. Messias, that's the legendary Purple Evo. And while we were there, the first day I came, I didn't know much about cars, especially Evos. And the first thing I got to do was I created a makeshift radiator.
Oh,
yes.
Nice.
So what we used was a fuel can. We used a fuel can and I strapped it to the roll cage of the car in the back, and we transferred over everything needed to operate the radiator, and we had a car ready for the race again. We had a bigger radiator where he could have more cooling for the car and run the race for a longer time without stopping.
Linton again. As he had said before, that when we came to Dover, we were put into pit. I was put into the pit of Team A1, that's with Lamar Larman and Jody Malachi. So while we were there, I asked Lamar why don't he put more power in the Mitsubishi that he has. He said that he can put more power in it, but the power to weight ratio kind of differs, because if you have so much power and then you have no weight, then you can't be able to drive the car because the car is too light to handle all the power. So he said that it's best to limit the power and have the adequate amount of weight to the car so that you'll be able to drive it better, and majority of the times the lightness of the car will help you to move further up in, towards the grid of the track.
What did you learn from observing professional drivers and teams at work during these events?
Linton again. What I've learned from the drivers and the teams at this event is that accidents always happen, and also that when you're on the track, your safety comes first. So you can't be while you're a track marshal, you can't be on your phone videoing the car just because you like cars. You have to think about your safety. So what if a car is coming and you're busy watching the car on the phone? You might not see what's going on in the real life. So you could be distracted by the phone and the car could be coming towards you and potentially hurt you.
To add to what Ashane just said, today I worked at the entrance, and to come over to the pit area, you have to cross the track, and sometimes the track is live. So while we were there, we had to pay very close attention to the section. So we had to pay very close attention to the cars that were coming, so we could direct the cars coming in through the entrance, the cars leaving from the pit area, which is the infield.
It's very hard to keep focus.
Yeah, it's very hard to keep focus, as you can see, guys.
Yeah. He's spinning and everything
That car
out
is
there.
actually one of the cars that were at our car show.
Oh, nice. The Marley's
So
car was
he did
there.
a donut on the field for us, and we were happy.
Very
As we
exciting,
stand in
don't
tent,
you?
say he ran from his post just to see what was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a very good experience.
I was going to add on that, learn about being a marshal, obviously about the safety. Your safety is first, the safety of those around you is second. When something happens, for example, God forbid, a rollover or a flip or anything, you're not supposed to just run onto the track. Communication is key. You have a team that works together. You communicate, you tell them, let's say I was at corner one, so I would say corner 1 to tower, there's been a rollover. Advise me what should I do. The person with the flag, obviously, they will have to, show the other drivers that, hey, something happening, either slow down and go around or stop completely.
How has the York Castle High School Automotive Club prepare you to take full advantage of opportunities like this?
Well, first of all, what I learned is that the people here, they aren't monsters. You can talk to them, you can learn from them, you can get to know stuff about them that probably no one else will probably ever know. Just because of seeing them, you're like, oh, that person can have that nice car, maybe not want to talk to me. No, you go up to them, you approach them, you learn about them, you can connect with them. That's how you build connection. You have to talk, you have to communicate. You just don't approach them in a way that would make them feel like you're trying to gain something from them. You just want to know more about what they do, etc.
Hi, Mr. Ray, how are you doing today?
Well, excited to be back at Dover after the December meet, wet Dover. It's unfortunate because it's a bit of a slippery track when it's wet, but it's been good to see quite a few. It's as if it's a race day actually. The amount of cars that are here, a couple of race cars, but to see the fan base and people that haven't, been fans here for years and are able to come and sample driving the track is great. So I'm glad that we've put this on and that we can have more competitors in the super street class, which is a class that I look after. I'm the coordinator for it, so we do the training and that sort of thing. Then we get them approved for them to get their racing license to start competing at Dover in their street car. And we have various rules of no passing zones to keep the racing safe. So you drive your car here, race it and drive it home.
Yeah.
That's the intention. But it's a lovely track. It's scary over the years. I've had my ups and downs, but it's good to be back. Dying to get back on track, but my family says I'm retired. I tell them I'm only tired.
Yes.
Not retired.
Yeah.
So that's how it is.
Hopefully we'll see you on the track one day soon,
Working on a project.
Okay.
Code name Zoom 8.
Okay.
Can't say much more. And it's not in Jamaica.
Oh, nice. Sounds very exciting.
It's being put together down the islands. Well, I started out in 1968, motorcycles. Of all the various disciplines that I've done, drag racing, rallying, circuit, go-karting, motocross is my number one love, which is the dirt bikes on jumps. We used to actually have a dirt bike track at Dover on the infield.
Oh.
So I used to have my Pocket Rocket Mini that I used to race. One race I'll be out of that, put on my riding gear, jump on the dirt bike, go and do the damage on the dirt bike track. So it's been a long haul. I've had lots of, few accidents. Can tell you about Spanish Own Hospital and a few down the islands, but I'm still here to tell the tale.
Yes, thank God.
And the sport has really definitely come on from when we first started. Equipment now, the technology. A couple of years ago, I saw a car here being tuned, which was quite something new, being tuned by a foreigner in New York. And the car was in Jamaica, and he's tuning it on the laptop.
Online
back
tuning.
in my day, it wasn't like that. We had no dynamometer to test your engine power and that sort of thing. We had to do it by seat of the pants.
Yeah.
So it has evolved, and technology is with us,
Yeah.
I remember Dickie Crawford and Junior Lincoln, who were partners with Alfred Chen when we first started. The first event was in Easter 1989, a circuit event actually. There was an autocross Boxing Day, but I remember Junior and Dickie said, "We're going to make you into a star," and I'm like, "Huh? A star?" And Dover's built a name which has now become synonymous with Zoom Zoom, having progressed from the Mini. That was known as the Pocket Rocket, also known as the Darling of Dover. I still have that car, which I want to bring back one day.
Yeah.
But I then progressed to the bigger class, which was the Mazdas, and the name Zoom Zoom is part of their advertising for Mazda in the United States some years ago, and it has stuck with me. So people refer to me as Zoom Zoom. And,
Zoom Zoom.
It has popularity, yes, I can't hide from that. Yeah, it does help.
The Zoom Zoom is your brand.
Yes, Zoom Zoom is me and my brand, and Reggae Racers is a touring brand.
Yeah. What skills or traits do go-karting drivers develop that help them to transition to professional racing?
Well, go-karting definitely is a fundamental for circuit racing, done it for many years, started out years back. It teaches you the rudiments of car control and braking and that sort of thing, and lines as well, and maintenance too. As a driver, you have to know how to do repairs on track when your chain flies off and that sort of thing. So you tend to become more orientated with the technical aspects and not just the driving aspects of it. And then when you progress to car racing now, it's like a second nature for a lot of karters. I've had quite a few that I've taught: Tommy Gore, Senna Somerville, Xander Williams. Many drivers have come through my tuition, and it's simple for them to transition into car racing. Just that it's a lot faster and it's a bigger unit, but they have the fundamentals at hand.
What advice would you give to younger students who are considering to join the automotive club? I take all on the answers.
JRDC here, join. It's a very good club and it will change your life for real. At first I was scared because I was like, automotive, it sounds like maybe it's just male club or something like that where boy know about car, them are going to roast if you're not knowing what a transmission is. But it's a club where you can actually express yourself. If you don't know, they will help you to know all them things. So join, don't be afraid, it's nice.
And now you can roast some of those men.
Yes, right.
It is educational, it helps you prepare. You might even have a career change in life, so it gives you a head start into what you're trying to do in the future.
Ariana Atkins. I believe younger students should join the automotive club because it presents you with a lot of opportunities, allowing you to do a lot of things. I never dreamed of even doing what I did today or what I did previously when I came. It gives you a lot of opportunities. I think you should take the opportunity and join when you can.
Okay, as she said, the club presents you with a lot of opportunities. So for example, when you reach the age of 17 years and 6 months, that you can get your learner's license from that age. Or is it 16? I'm not sure. But with the automotive club, you are presented with the opportunity to get your learner's license through the club. So for the students who are 17 or 16, we are currently collecting their names to present them with the opportunity to go and do the test. As I was saying, we are currently presenting them with the opportunity to go and do the test, get their medical done, and all of the pictures taken for the learner's license.
Also, to add to that, I think the younger set of students, they should learn not to be afraid of the older students. Yes, some of us might look intimidating, we know, but not be afraid to approach us and ask questions about the club if you're not sure about something. You can ask, not go bite off it. So reach out and we'll help you, because that's the way how I ended up in the club. There were some sixth formers and they were like the president of the club and they held positions in it. So it happens that I was there one day, just had a talk with them, and then I ended up joining the club. And I went to the first meet, I liked it. By the third meet, I got a chance to drive a car. One of the teachers, we have drive days in the club, so on that day I got to drive, I think 2 cars,
Oh, nice.
And yeah, we had fun.
Well, the greatest part is that you guys are learning and you're having fun at the same time. Well, thanks again for, being here. Of course, it's good that you guys joined the club and you're learning as well as developing your future careers, right? So all the best to you guys in school, all the best in your CXC and whatever exams you guys have, and just keep up the good work. Alright, bye.
Thank you for watching another video production of 876 Streets. Subscribing to our channel definitely means a lot to us. Thanks for your continuous support.